Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of The Curtain. Today I'd like to share with you a special song that originally was written with a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek flavor to it. It turned out to be a lot more profound than I expected, because this is about faith, the kind of faith that puts you on the Jesus train. Come on, everybody on the Jesus train. Keep the faith and you'll be saved. Come on, everybody on the Jesus train. Lazarus lies there in a cave. He may be dead, but he'll be saved. He's got a ticket on the Jesus train. Come on, everybody on the Jesus train. Keep the faith and you'll be saved. Come on, everybody on the Jesus train. Can we stone her? Is it okay? She may have sinned, but not today. She's got a ticket on the Jesus train. Come on, everybody on the Jesus train. Keep the faith and you'll be saved. Come on, everybody on the Jesus train. Blind man sits at the edge of a pool. He may be blind, but he's no fool. He's got a ticket on the Jesus train. Come on, everybody on the Jesus train. Keep the faith and you'll be saved. Come on, everybody on the Jesus train. Faith is the ticket, red is the power. Leave all your baggage, now is the hour. Come on, everybody on the Jesus train. Keep the faith and you'll be saved. Come on, everybody on the Jesus train. Lord, my Lord, we have no food. Well, here's 12 baskets left for you. You've got a ticket on the Jesus train. Come on, everybody on the Jesus train. Keep the faith and you'll be saved. Come on, everybody on the Jesus train. It's dining costs of bread and wine, and Jesus is waiting at the end of the line. You've got a ticket on the Jesus train. Come on, everybody on the Jesus train. Keep the faith and you'll be saved. Come on, everybody on the Jesus train. Now you can do it, you can't fail, 'cause you'll be traveling on holy rail. Come on, everybody on the Jesus train. And so that's the Jesus train. Now in each part of this song, there's a little bit of a miracle. Now the biggest miracle, of course, is Lazarus. And Lazarus was well loved by Jesus, which is amazing that Jesus would wait so long when he found out that Lazarus was sick. In fact, his disciples said, "Jesus, we have to get going because Lazarus is sick." And Jesus said, "No, we need to wait a few days." And so he waited a few days and then made his way to see Lazarus. Now he was met by Mary. And Mary was in tears, and she said, "If you'd have been here, he'd have been okay." And then we see one of the smallest, most beautiful human moments for Jesus. 2 words in the Bible. Jesus wept. And he said, through broken words, "Where have they laid him?" And so he went to the place where they laid him, and he said, "Take away the stone." And they said, "No, it's going to smell. He's been dead too long." But they followed his command. And before the stone was fully rolled away, Jesus thanked God and said, "You always hear my prayers, but I only do this for the benefit of those watching." And he said, "Lazarus, come forth." And then from out of the darkness came Lazarus, all bound in his funeral shroud. Jesus told them, to unbind him and give him something to eat. Lazarus lies there in a cave. He may be dead, but he'll be saved. He's got a ticket on the Jesus train. Come on, everybody on the Jesus train. Keep the faith and you'll be saved. Come on, everybody on the Jesus train. Now, the authorities were trying to trap Jesus. So they brought a woman who they said they'd caught in adultery. And they knew that this woman would be stoned for this sin. And they brought her to Jesus so that Jesus would have to make the decision. They said, well, the law of Moses says we are supposed to stone her. What do you say? They figured Jesus was trapped. If he said, stone her, then his followers, who'd heard preaching about love and mercy and forgiveness, would give up on Jesus. They couldn't believe a prophet who spoke like this would let a woman be stoned. Now, if he said, nope, don't stone her, they would say, now you're breaking the law of Moses. And once again, he would be judged. But Jesus gave them the perfect answer. He said, let those of you without sin cast the first stone. Well, they all must have been shocked at this answer. The older people there, they started to drop their stones first, and then followed by the younger ones, as they realized they're all sinners. And by casting that stone, they would say they were without sin. Can we stone her? Is it okay? She may have sinned, but not today. She's got a ticket on the Jesus train. Come on, everybody on the Jesus train. Keep the faith and you'll be saved. Come on, everybody on the Jesus train. Now, as Jesus went from place to place, many people were healed, and the word spread. There was a blind man sitting on the edge of the road, and he couldn't get his voice heard above the crowd, and he was shouting, Rabbi, Rabbi. The people around him were getting annoyed at him, telling him to be quiet. Don't disturb the rabbi. But whether some people finally picked up the man and brought him in front of Jesus, or his own disciples did, Jesus asked him, what would you have me do? And the man said, give me back my sight. And so Jesus spit into the dirt, made mud, and placed it onto the eyes of the man, and said, go wash in the pool. I'm sure the man had many people following him to see what was going to happen. And as he washed his eyes, they said, what do you see? He said, I see trees walking. And they said, well, keep washing. And he washed his eyes, and then he said, I can see everything. And they all praised God. A blind man sits at the edge of a pool. He may be blind, but he's no fool. He's got a ticket on the Jesus train. Come on, everybody on the Jesus train. Keep the faith and you'll be saved. Come on, everybody on the Jesus train. Now, Jesus had to go to places where his voice could carry, like from a boat on the ocean or up on a hill where the words could carry. And it was one such place. They said it was a lonely place. And it was getting to the time where it was mealtime, and the apostles were saying, could you please send everybody out to get something to eat? Because this is a lonely place. It's far away. And Jesus said, why don't you give them something to eat? The disciples, being very literal, said, well, Lord, if we had a year's wages, we couldn't buy food for all of these people. And Jesus said, well, what do you have? And he said, well, we've got a few loaves of bread and some fish. And Jesus said, have all the people sit down in groups of 50. And so he held the bread up, blessed it, distributed it, held up the fish, broke it, distributed it. And everyone was fed. Somehow everyone was fed. Lord, my Lord, we have no food. Well, here's 12 baskets left for you, 'cause you got a ticket on the Jesus train. Come on, everybody on the Jesus train. Keep the faith and you'll be saved. Come on, everybody on the Jesus train. Come on, everybody on the Jesus train. Now, the Passover was a very special time for the Jewish people. It was a time where there was a movement away. They were freed from the slavery of the Egyptians. And the Hebrew people had a chance to leave their captivity, and they'll always reenact that night before the leaving. Now Jesus changed that. During the Passover, he said, now this bread is now my body, which is broken for you, for the remission of sins. He said, this wine is now my blood, which is spilled for many. And there on the Jesus train, we have the dining car. This dining car serves bread and wine. And Jesus is waiting at the end of the line, 'cause you got a ticket on the Jesus train. Come on, everybody on the Jesus train. Keep the faith and you'll be saved. Come on, everybody on the Jesus train. Now you can do it, you can't fail, 'cause you'll be traveling on a holy rail. Come on, everybody on the Jesus train. Thank you very much for listening, and have a fantastic day.